Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Two stores offering a variety of CBD products are set to open in the Valley in the next few weeks, one in East Grand Forks and another in Moorhead. But this news has only opened the door for dozens of questions about who can buy and sell CBD and what the law says.
However, as Valley News Live's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley discovered, it's not as cut and dry as it seems.
You can find it at most of your local health stores, as well as some gas stations. CBD oil is all the rave right now, claiming to help you sleep and get rid of your joint aches without the psychoactive effects from THC found in marijuana.
To put in perspective, if you had a liter of water, it would be about this much would be THC, compared to the rest being CBD.
But according to North Dakota Century Code, marijuana products are illegal unless they come from the stalks or their fiber or from their cakes and oil from the seeds.
What does that statute mean? It's impossible to determine. Because on one hand, it says it's legal if it comes from the seed, but you can't have THC from the seed, but you can't. So it's a mess.
I talked with Fargo police today, and they say you could be charged with a Class B misdemeanor if you're caught selling or possessing CBD. That is, unless you have a medical marijuana card. However, Fargo police also say they don't actively seek out stores who sell CBD products. But if they learn of one, they go to that business, educate them on the law, tell them to stop their CBD sales, and check back in a few weeks. But here's where it gets tricky. According to the DEA, thanks to the Farm Bill, CBD is no longer illegal to possess if it has less than 0.3% of THC in it. But on top of that, CBD oil is almost completely unregulated, so it's hard to know what you're even getting.
It's one for the courts. I mean, it's a mess.
Meaning that only adds a big question mark as to where CBD officially stands for North Dakota. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
What do you think about the law? Let us know on our Facebook page.
The sun seemed to soak up the smaller puddles around town, but are they gone for good? Hutch, will it be a dry night tonight?
It looks dry for most. As we look off to the west where we've had lingering clouds, a few sprinkles are still a possibility out there, but most of us are high and dry, with temperatures warmest in the Red River Valley in the north, where it's 59 in Roseau, 57 in Grand Forks. The night looks pretty quiet for most of us. Our rivers are continuing to crest. The main crest will happen in the Pembina area as we go into next week, and it will exceed 50 feet. Areas north of Grand Forks still seeing significant problems. We're expecting the Maple River at Mapleton and elsewhere to recede, but the Red River in Fargo will be rising as we go through the weekend to a second crest of about 32.5 feet. For this evening, temperatures will slip into the 40s. Our winds that are pretty brisk now will subside as we get past sunset as well. Even warmer temperatures in the weekend outlook. I'll have that for you in a moment.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
The owner of a Fargo contracting business that went bust and took thousands of dollars from customers has been barred from doing business in North Dakota and has to pay people back. The North Dakota Attorney General said Studs to Rugs owner Timothy Razine cannot do business in the state for the next 5 years. He's been ordered to pay back roughly $122,000 in restitution. He also has to pay more than $12,000 to the state in penalties and fees. In October of 2017, Rosine was investigated for taking money from clients and never doing the work, even though he knew he wouldn't be able to complete it. For more details on the lawsuit against him, you can go to our website and click on this story.
Two people are in jail after a hit and run turned into a police chase in Jamestown. Around 8 p.m. Wednesday, a vehicle reportedly hit a parked car and left the scene at the local Walmart. When police tried to stop the vehicle, it took off, starting the police chase that you're seeing on your screen. Deputies eventually set up spike strips on Highway 20, and the car went into a field. 27-year-old Yolanda Two Hearts of Fort Totten and 27-year-old Brittany Reyes of Fargo were arrested for shoplifting, fleeing officers, and outstanding warrants. Police say the women stole over $1,000 worth of merchandise.
A child who was critically injured in a two-vehicle crash last month has been transferred from the intensive care unit. Brandon Devine is the 5-year-old who was injured in the crash on 13th Avenue South and University Drive South in Fargo last March. He has now been moved from the ICU, although he is still in the hospital. His brother, Jason, died after suffering injuries in the same crash. Their father, Christopher Devine, has been charged with 1 count of criminal vehicular homicide and 2 counts of criminal vehicular injury.
The Bemidji Police Department needs your help identifying a person of interest in one of their investigations. If you know this person, send a text message to Officer Burford at 218-368-9352. Be sure to reference photo number 388.
Even before the world got a glimpse at the redacted version of the special counsel's report, President Donald Trump was trying to frame the moment as a political victory. That report did not recommend charges against the president for obstruction of justice. It did say that the president attempted to seize control of the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election and force out Robert Mueller. Shortly after the reports were released, I got a chance to talk with Valley News Live's chief national political analyst, Greta Van Susteren. She told me that Democrats and Republicans will be spinning the results all the way up to the 2020 presidential election.
Unlikely any vote is going to be changed by this report, but it is going to get very loud politically out there. But I think people should read the report because I think transparency is a good thing.
The chairman of the House Judiciary Committee says he'll be issuing a subpoena for the full special counsel report and the underlying materials. New York Representative Jerry Nadler says the report outlines disturbing evidence that the president engaged in misconduct.
It's starting to warm up outside, which means it's road construction season. To help answer any questions and keep the public up to date with the latest, city leaders from Fargo, West Fargo, and Horace, along with the North Dakota Department of Transportation, are coming together for weekly meetings.
As we progress through the construction season, we will make adjustments as needed, but for the most part, we, as usual, ask the traveling public to stay patient, pick alternate routes when they can, and just stay tuned for more updated information.
The meetings will take place every other Friday following this week. To learn more, you can head to our website and click on this story. Speaking of construction, here's a heads up for South Fargo commuters. Starting tomorrow, April 19th, 42nd Street southbound will be closed to through traffic between 11th and 13th Avenues South. Crews need to do a pipeline repair in that area. It's expected to be in place for at least a week. As work progresses, there may be impacts to northbound 42nd Street traffic as well.
The fight isn't over, but the bills are starting to roll in. Fargo Mayor Tim Mahoney says the price tag for the 2019 flood fight is nearing $900,000 and is likely to top $1 million. Mahoney says the city is counting on a federal disaster declaration that would cover 75% of the costs. But if those costs aren't covered by FEMA, the money comes out of the general fund.